So one of the biggest questions I've had from people when I tell them what I'm about to do, go and try and run 2,000 miles in 70 days along the Danube, solo, self-supported, is kind of what makes you most worried about this attempt. And there's a few things that are definitely kind of concerns. One of them is Romania. There are huge stretches, big distances between kind of places that are nice for, or where there's civilization, places for camping, so no campsites. So it's a little bit more wild. Might be struggle to get water in those segments, but also there's quite a few, as I've heard kind of reports, there's quite a few wild dogs. So I'm worried about what I'm going to encounter in terms of that. Dogs that are guard dogs that aren't behind any kind of fences, so I'm going to have to deal with potentially being chased fairly regularly in that first section. There's 3 weeks across Romania. I guess the other thing really for me is basically just about tendons. The other fear is how the legs will hold up. Not the muscles, not anything else, just the tendons. So, you know, those tendons on the outside of the knee, the ones that are at the top of the foot, the Achilles, you know, all of these things that you just don't know. And I feel like that's going to be my biggest challenge, is what happens to those bits with the kind of repetitive work they're going to put in after you've been running for 15 days doing 26 miles a day. I honestly don't know. I've done 7 and they were kind of okay. To be honest, after 7 they started to feel loose. I felt like I could go more, but you just don't know. So that's a big fear. Obviously the dogs are a bit of a concern, but then nefarious humans, you know, who might I encounter on the way? Is it going to be safe? Will people basically rob me of the few bits and pieces that I am carrying? And I sincerely hope not. And I plan to kind of take, you know, I've got some sort of slightly eccentric kind of ways of hopefully dealing with this. I'm going to take some little signs written in each of the languages, the place I run through, explaining what I'm doing and the cause that I'm doing it for, and hope to appeal to people's better judgment if they do encounter me. But it's kind of out of my hands really. If someone decides that they're going to take all my stuff, they're going to take all my stuff. And we will see what happens if and when that happens. But I guess you can always buy more stuff. I think I'm more worried about losing things that are kind of really mission critical on that day and that make it very difficult, like my watch, because that's got the roots on it. Phone, because that's my communication tool. But you know, we'll see. If it happens, it happens. I've got all my GPX files planned on Komoot, day by day by day. I've mapped the routes, I've looked, but you know, I've done my best to see the best kind of routes to follow. Who knows if those are all still there, if the roads and the course and the paths are still open, or what we might encounter along the way. I don't really want to be adding lots of distance every day, so getting that right is going to be crucial. And actually day by day I'm probably going to listen to local advice if I can find it on which kind of banks of the river to run, and if there's any segments that I've got wrong or I've made, you know, glaring errors from afar, I'll change it for sure. Then there's the camping and the sleeping. So while at the moment I'm in the process of finding friendly campsites, friendly locals, people who put me up and support me and give me a patch of grass that's my sort of size to bivvy on, or even maybe a bed in a hostel or whatever. There's going to be times when I think I'm going to have to drop and wild camp and bivvy. So I've not got a tent, I'm just sleeping in almost like a waterproof bivvy sack basically. And I've never really done this on my own before. I've wild camped with friends, but you know, tucking in, closing your eyes, getting some sleep when you're solo in a foreign country, a million miles from home. Yeah, tired, not really sure what's around you. That's going to be an interesting one, but you know, it's outside my comfort zone for sure, and I'm looking forward to giving that a test. You know, that's the point of this whole thing, is just to see how you cope with some of these things that are thrown at you. Am I strong enough? Am I gonna need new pants in the morning? I don't know. We shall see. There is another thing that I think worries me as well. This isn't really running related, it's just about the event and about life. And it's that I've got a little 6.75-year-old. He'll be 7 by the time I go and run the Danube and start. I'm going 2 days after his birthday. And my family at home. And I know that being away for that long, 70 days is the longest I'll have been away from them. And I'm worried I'm going to miss them really badly. And that's going to be one of the hardest things actually, is just not seeing him every day and giving him a cuddle and reading his story to him. All of those things I think are really going to be hard, but you know, with technology I'll keep up with him on FaceTime. They're going to try and come and join me for a section in the middle and hopefully be there at the end. And hopefully we can bridge that gap, but yeah, FaceTime isn't the same as getting a lovely morning cuddle from your son, you know. And that's one thing, having breakfast with him every morning. I don't know, that does have me worried. That homesickness, that missing those key people in my family is going to be a bit tough. Yeah, and then people have said to me, are you afraid that you're not going to make it? That's the big question, isn't it? I mean, that's the real biggie. And the truth is, I'm pretty humble about this. You know, I'm going into it fully aware that this is a massive undertaking. It's a huge challenge. It's the hardest thing that I've ever done. And there are many, many, many reasons that this might not work out. And I'm kind of okay with those, you know. I'm really just happy to be giving it a shot. I will go out and see. I'll do my best. I'll try and do everything right. I'll try and look after my body. I'll, you know, no heroics, no ego. Listen to the body, go slow. Try and eat right, try and sleep right. I will give myself every single chance to get this done in this kind of sensible, steady, controlled fashion. But there is a massive but. You know, anything can happen out there. Literally anything. The body might not cope with it. You know, who knows? If that happens, we'll just address that when it comes. The other thing to say is I have to get to that sort of start line. When I turn around at the Danube Delta and start heading for home, all 2,000 miles of it, I have to take that first step believing that I will make the last step. I have to be confident. I have to have that kind of confidence that this is definitely possible. Because if you go into it feeling like it's too big for you before you even start, you're in a lot of trouble. But it will be day by day, step by step. Every day we'll just take it as it comes. You know, proper football cliches, just kind of one game at a time, and we'll see how we get on. But am I scared I'm not going to finish it? Not really, because there are definitely worse things that can happen to you in the world than trying to do something big and not quite coming up to the level. But you know, here we go. We're going to go and give it a go, and we're not far away. So yeah, that's all of my main fears. I mean, tell me if you think I've missed something in the comments below. Is there something else I should be scared of that I don't know about, particularly if you live in any of those countries I'm going to run through? Romania, Bulgaria, Serbia, Croatia, Hungary, Slovakia, Austria, and then finishing in Germany. Tell me, I want to hear it. If you live in any of those places along the Danube, hit me up as well, because I would love to hear from you. If you want to come run with me, if you've got a bed or a shower, or even somewhere to fill up my water bottles, any of that stuff. I'll take apple strudels, I will take burek, I will take anything en route. I'd love to have some company, but yeah, just feel free to hit me up in the comments, share it with your friends, all of those things. Yeah, that's been my little update with just over kind of 40 days to go until we start the Danube run. Thanks for watching, and yeah, I'll see you on the channel again soon.